I know I need to change. I know.
Alrighty, guys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to be talking about Nikocado Avocado. If you don't know who that is, I mean, I've made tons of videos on him, but today we are actually going to be talking about this post that he made on his Twitter, and I think that this is really interesting. So if you're unfamiliar, a little bit of a rundown. Basically, the reason that this picture is interesting to me, at least, is that he used to be relatively straight-sized or a smaller guy, and he has gained a significant amount of weight. He's like well over 300 pounds in a very short amount of time. Through a lot of that seems to be through, you know, his YouTube channel, his mukbangs that he does, eating a lot of calories, and he uses his weight as a way to kind of market himself and as a way to set himself apart. And he kind of he really leans into the fact that he's gained a lot of weight. That's something that he kind of leans really heavy into, and he talks about it a lot. He talks about how it doesn't bother him. He talks about how it does bother him. It's a really big thing, right? And so clearly, this post here on his Twitter, it says, "I hate what I did to my body," and then he shows himself, you know, back in the day when he was, you know, a little bit smaller. And so I actually thought it was interesting because I wanted to go through the comments on this post and kind of share my thoughts on them. So the first one, I'm pretty sure this is just a joke account, but Hamberlin, you look the best at 300 pounds, so you just need to lose a tiny bit of weight, boo-boo. I know you can do it. Again, I think that that's more a troll account than anything. I could be wrong. But then this next one, doesn't matter how you look like. What's inside you is more important. You're an awesome guy, right? And so that represents, I feel like, a lot of the people that are, you know, on his side or behind him or stand behind him and are like rooting for him. You know, people are just like, oh, it doesn't matter what's on the outside, whatever's on the inside is that counts, right? And then a response to that, there won't be an inside if you die from a heart attack, right? And then that one has 68 likes, which, again, so that is the most common argument you hear, right? And the thing with Nick that I have noticed is you will definitely, if you are, I'm trying to explain this as if you are someone on the complete outside, right? You have no knowledge of this person, you don't know anything about him, and you see someone post this, you're going to read that and be like, why are people so mean, right? Mean. Why are people so rude? Why are people so why are they like this to him, right? And I think the reason so many people are, you know, mean or rude is less about, I know a lot of people will say, oh, it's because they're fat phobic and stuff, right? Which I'm sure there are some people that feel that way. But I think a good amount of the people that leave comments like that genuinely have watched Nick, probably liked his content at one point, and they are sick of this kind of back and forth, right? Because he will talk about how he's, oh, I need to lose weight, I need to do this, but I'm not joking, he will literally talk about how he needs to lose weight and his health is declining, and he's made videos about how he had a heart attack, how he has diabetes. And again, I'm putting those in quotes because it's just him kind of talking about it, right? And so people have seen those videos of him claiming those things, but also saying he wants to lose weight. But also during that video where he's saying he wants to lose weight, he's eating a ton of calories from, you know, wherever, McDonald's, from Taco Bell, whatever, right? And so people really struggle with having empathy for him. Like, that's something that you notice a lot. But let's continue to read some of these comments. It says, yeah, we are aware and we wish to see you recover and get better again. No one wants this man. Get help, please. You actually don't care because the money drives you. It's cool. You can be honest with us. And so that's another common argument that you hear, right? Is Nick doing this just for the money, right? Because clearly he's doing well because of these videos that he's doing. He's making a good amount of money from these videos that he's doing. And so a lot of people think that, a lot of people genuinely, I think, don't believe basically anything Nick says, because they feel like it's always for, you know, a way to get people to click on a video, a way to get people to watch the content, a way to get people to be invested in the story. Because when people are invested in the story, they in turn watch the videos, right? And so again, I can understand that point of view. I'm not saying that I fully agree with it, but I can see where people are coming from with that. And then here we go. So we all do things to ourselves that we regret, but I followed you on YouTube since the beginning, and you were an inspiration to a lot of people. I know you can be an inspiration to yourself. So again, that's someone, kind of being there for him and saying that they believe in him. There is a way to have a healthy balance of both. I know it's hard, but everyone just wants to see you happy. And then people would completely and unironically watch you make weight loss videos. I know I would. Now that is really interesting to me because I've always said those things about, about Amber Lynn, about Nick. I do believe that there would be a following of people that are very interested in seeing that type of content, right? In seeing Nick decide that he is going to, take control of his life, take control of his health and weight loss, and try and lose weight and document that on YouTube. Now, I believe there are people that would be interested in that, but as someone that makes videos on YouTube and has been doing the whole algorithm game, thumbnail title game, I know that it can be very scary and it truly can completely backfire by changing your content. And so for Nick, it is going to be very hard to go from a formula that works well enough, his videos, the way that he does things, the way that he has set up his life. It is going to be very difficult to completely switch that up to make a different type of content. And then on top of that, to be afraid that these videos might not do as well, and then you're not getting as many views, you're not getting as much money, and then you're also alienating the fan base that you have built. So it is very, very scary. And then on top of all of that, deciding to want to lose weight and put in the effort to make that happen requires a lot of work that maybe Nick isn't used to doing. And so you have all of these outside factors that are going on. And then to add on top of it is now you are going to be doing something that is genuinely difficult for yourself. I can understand why it would be hard for him to want to commit to doing that because you already have this thing that's working well enough. Why change it, right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. And then here's a... Get lipo, I don't know. No, I would not recommend that Nick get lipo to lose his weight. That's probably not the best option. It's probably tough for you to look back at these pictures. I would agree, it probably is pretty tough to look back. It's almost like you can change it by stopping what you do. I think, clearly Nick could make a change. I think that one thing that Nick talks about a lot in his videos that I have noticed is when he talks about the people that are his haters or people that hate on his mukbangs, he'll always bring up I actually don't eat that much of the food that I'm showing in the video, all of these things, right? I do think that a lot of people, and for good reasons, I'll get into it, but a lot of people put almost all of the blame on the mukbangs and that's it, when I think it is much bigger than that. Are the mukbangs not helping? Clearly, right? But there is so much more that goes into it than just the mukbangs. However his life is set up, however sedentary he is, all of these other things go into, the weight gain that has happened, as well as obviously the food that he eats off of camera, which I know he eats a lot of food on camera, but there are obviously times where he's not eating every single meal on camera, right? And so to say that it's only the mukbangs that are the issue, I think would be wrong. And I'm not even saying that that's necessarily what this person is saying, but that's just something I've noticed through watching his channel. All right, here's another one. I started watching you in the vegan days, and you had me so hooked like thousands of others. You were you then, not doing a character or skits. That's interesting. You stayed true to yourself, kept it real, and people were hooked. I miss those days, as I'm sure many do, the real Nikocado. So again, a lot of his videos back in the day were very focused on, veganism and all that stuff. And a lot of people, I know I keep saying that, a lot of people, but it's true. A lot of people, including myself, really believe that pretty much everything you see to an extent on YouTube, especially now, is a character, right? It's like, I like to relate it to like WWE, right? It's clearly not real. It's clearly scripted. It's clearly over the top, exaggerated. I'm sure there are parts of his personality that he mixes in there, because I think any good actor would do that. But the vast majority of what you see on these videos where he's crying and he's screaming and he's yelling at his boyfriend and they're arguing with each other, a lot of that is pre-planned and scripted, and it's an actor, it's like a scene, right? And so I think that, again, I wonder if, now this is just a theory, I'm coming off the top of my head, but I wonder if it would be, because like, it's not fun, at least for me. I don't like to share a lot of my real life on social media. Like, I don't want everyone to know everything about me. And so I wonder if Nick is kind of actually similar in that regard. And so to be able to film so frequently and make content so frequently, I wonder if creating this character was a way for him to, you know, separate it from the real Nick. And if it was that, I wonder if there was a time where the fake Nick started kind of taking over and he started making more and more crazy choices because it was like, well, I want to make a video. I want to do this. I think this would be funny. I think this would be good, right? It seems like that's what's happened, right? Again, that's just a theory. You could change it anytime, but you don't. Is it worth the money and the fame? Never too late to make a water loss journey channel. It's funny because he says he's always, it's all water weight. And then this was another really interesting. I thought you were 2 steps ahead. So that is in reference to a video that Nick uploaded where it definitely seemed, again, it's really hard to say, but it seemed like he stripped back the character persona that he has on videos, and he talked about how he's 2 steps ahead of everyone, and he made it seem like everything he's done has been very, very planned, and everyone else, like myself included, the commentary channels that make videos about him, the people that watch his videos, that are invested, that like him, that dislike him, they all don't understand the grand scheme of things, right? And again, you can make the argument that this post here is part of that plan, right? Is that he doesn't actually miss what he used to look like. It's all fake. It's hard to say. Like, who knows, right? Another thing I wanted to talk about was that Nick recently, he uploaded, well, this was actually not super recently. This was about a month ago from recording this. He uploaded a video where he claims that he thinks that he has cancer.
My tennis balls, if you know what I'm saying. My 2 tennis balls. The left one has been not strong, but very subtle on and off at random times. I'd say like once every minute, once every 2 minutes. And then I might go an hour or 2 and just not, and then it'll be like pulse, pulse, pulse. You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. I'm sitting here worried for something with my body and, not knowing what to do about it.
One of the things I was close to making a video about it when it happened, but I honestly didn't feel like it, because I had just made a video about him claiming that he thought that he had a heart attack, and then I made a video about him claiming that he had diabetes. So I saw another video that people were asking me to talk about where he claimed that he had cancer, right? So in my mind, I was like, dude, I'm done, right? But watching that video and the way that he is acting, it seemed like it could be real. But again, who knows, right? And it's weird for me to say that about someone claiming to have such a serious thing going on with their, in their medical life. But the reason that and I think a lot of other people might feel like it's not real is because, like I just claimed earlier, he had just made a video saying, oh, I had a heart attack. He had just made a video saying, oh, I have diabetes. And so then when you hear, oh, I think that I have cancer, it's really hard to believe that. And now, I have always said, and I still believe this, that Nick is a smart person. So I don't think when he is making this video about, thinking that he has cancer, that he doesn't realize that people aren't going to believe him. I think that he just doesn't care. And he's at a point now where he's like, I'm just going to bring it up. I'm going to talk about it. If it is something that is going on in his head and he really thinks that he might have, he doesn't care that people aren't going to believe him because he's just going to do it, right? And the other thing is that he knows that he can make a video about it, and he knows that he can monetize it, and he knows that he can make money off of that scare, whether it's real or not. Now, there's a completely different argument to talk about, is it right to use these things as clickbait if you know that it's not real? And I would argue that it's wrong to do that, right? If you know you don't have any of these illnesses, but you know that talking about it on camera and acting like maybe you have it will get you clicks and views, I think that that's wrong to do. But there's a very big difference between talking about it and really maybe thinking that you have these things and just kind of talking off the top of your head, because Nick obviously makes many videos a week, like a lot. And so just kind of being like, I'm just going to talk about whatever, right? That's very different than knowing I don't have any of these issues, but thinking I need to make a YouTube video. I'm just going to use this thing. You know, I'm going to use diabetes. I'm going to use a heart attack. I'm going to use cancer. That'll get me views. That is really gross and disgusting and wrong. And if that's what he's doing, that is absolutely vile. I want to make that very clear. If it is instead, oh, I thought that I had this, I'm just going to talk about it because I talk about everything on camera, I still think that's not a good thing to do, and I wouldn't do it. I don't think that it's smart because it's going to lead you down this road where people aren't going to believe anything you say. But I do believe that it is different than the first thing that I described. Again, I'm not saying that it's okay, but it is different. But I think, like, at the end of the day, Nick is interesting, and he knows that he's interesting, and he knows that people, whether or not they want to admit they are invested in the story that he is telling, whether it's real or not. I genuinely, like, I mean this, I wish the best for Nick, and I really hope that it's not cancer. I really hope that there's not actually something really going on there, because that's freaking scary, and I don't wish cancer on anyone. I'm dealing with it right now with very close family, and it's not fun. So, like, I don't wish that, but that's why I get so upset when I hear people maybe talking about it when it's not actually going on, because I know what it can do to you, and I've seen what it does to people when it's really there, and it's freaking terrifying and scary, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone, even my worst enemy, at all. I want to make that clear. And so I'm not here trying to give him a pass. If anything, I think that if this is fake, that's absolutely disgusting, and it would really change, I think, my opinion of Nick. Because I feel like more than anything, he's an internet troll and he enjoys attention. But I think lying about something so serious as this really would be very, very disgusting. I don't know. That's kind of, I just wanted to get this all out there. There was just so much to cover. I hope that I did a good job. I don't know. I was just trying to share my thoughts and my opinions on that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for watching the video. I would love to hear what you guys think. I know that there's so many people that have so many opinions on Nick and know so much about him and have done so much research, and I try and stay up to date, but there's just so much content. There's just no way for me to be completely up to date on every single little thing. Again, obviously the cancer video that he made was over a month ago, so I'm sure there's tons of other stuff that people have found, but those are just my thoughts and opinions off the top of my head. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.